Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's Dynamite Wednesday night. It's God's country. And I guess we was able to hear the music this time. Did you enjoy it? Let me know. Did you enjoy it? Who's with us tonight? We got 7 in the house so far. Good deal. I did see Great Farmers Freelance. Mr. Shane, good to see you. And dancing time. No, we won't be dancing tonight, Great Farmer Freelance, but that will be July 6th. We've been talking about it. We've been putting it out there. If we get 75 thumbs up within 10 minutes of that live stream starting, we will dance. We will show you why we were born to boogie. Who's ready for that? I think Great Farmer Freelance is. Guys, I think I told you this before, Great Farmer, but you can see me dancing on my channel already. We done it for 50 thumbs up way back when, a few months ago or so. So how's everyone doing tonight? Wolves Den Outdoors is with us. Good to see you there. Good to see you. Great Farmer Freelance. We talked to him. Who else? Dutch Blackfeather's joined us. Good to see you there, Dutch. Appreciate you. Miles, 1982 Smile. Hello, host. Hey. Hi, everyone. All right. Good to see you, Miles. Good to see you. We got a few things to discuss tonight here on Dynamite Wednesday night. The Dynamite Show. Yeah. A little bit hyped up tonight because we released a video Monday at 5 a.m. First time I ever released one that early in the morning. And so far, so good. Right before I went live, I was over 400 and some views on that in just a little over a day or so, a couple of days. Not too bad. That's the first time I think I've hit that type of a view count in that short of a time. So, yay me. Awesome. It's good. I mean, it's really cool. It really is. Excuse me there. Everybody saying hello to everybody. But, yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you that's been in here. I have visited Great Farmer Freelance. He does a lot of great live streams. I'm able to visit him sometimes in the mornings when he does those while I'm at work. And you love Blake Shelton's God Country? Yeah, Wolves Den Outdoors. Great song. And, of course, the title of this live stream, this Dynamite Wednesday night installment, is titled God's Country. So, fitting song, right? The Bud Files, good to see you. Just jumped in here. There's Small Water Charters from down there in Florida. Appreciate you all being in here. And check out them sometime. Anybody that doesn't have Small Water Charters, go check them out and be friends with them. As well as Great Farmers Freelance and Wolves Den Outdoors and anybody else we got in here tonight that might create content. That's what it's all about, right? You create the content you want to create. We've kind of, we knew we were going to do some type of outdoor content, and that's kind of what we do. It's mostly survival and bushcraft type stuff, but, we're throwing some other stuff in there. Homesteading, we're going to be doing some of that. Some farming, guys. We got a garden out. We got a few things out already. Things are greening up here in Kentucky, which, we didn't know if it was going to happen or not. Even when the red buds were bloomed already. I mean, there wasn't many blooms on the oak trees or the poplars or anything like that. Judy Mae Collins, good evening to you. Appreciate you being here. Old guy in Colorado just joined us as well. Good to see you. Hello to you in Colorado. All right. Great Farmer Freelance said, great job. Yeah, got that many views. So, and I got a video or two out there over 500, but and one that's over 1,000 views. So, I mean, it's just what it is. A video I done way back, one of my first videos, is the one with over 1K views, or maybe over 1,500 views now. And it's about, the old hickory butcher knife and how you could probably use it in the woods. Not just to butcher something, but, to process wood with. You could. And we all know how it is, when you try to do a video, out in the outdoors and that processing wood, that B-roll, that's awesome stuff there. Po Boy Adventures just joined us. Evening to you, brother. My brother there from Kentucky, right here in my home state. Just a few miles down the road, I guess you'd say. But yeah, the holler's greening up, guys. The grass is green. Flowers are growing. We got a little hostas garden. Hosta. I call it a garden, but it's flowers. It's plants. Old hickory is awesome nice. Right there, Virginia Dutch Blackfeather. Good to see you. Yeah, but I know we've talked about that a few times about old hickory knives there. But I encourage anybody that's watching right now that's not engaging in the chat, hey, say hello to us. Tell us you're here at least. I always like doing that. You know, there's some people out there that just like to watch. They don't like to comment. They don't like to chat. But I always try to do that encouraging thing. And, you know, it's just, you know, encouragement goes a long way. It really does. There is the Huntsman. Good to see you there. Evening to you. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we got a few things we're going to try to discuss today. Different things. We already discussed talking about that little Daniel Boone type presentation video. Did get some flack on that on Facebook. Some people trolling me saying, hey, you're just reading the website. Or, hey, somebody posted the link to the website right in the thing. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, we got 400 views on it, so I was reading something pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Trying to do it as entertaining as possible or you know, to get as much engagement as I can. And so there's over 400 views, so some of them might not be very long. But the thing is, you know, at this time, the average views I was getting about this time was like between 50 and 90. The Huntsman said he's good. Awesome. Good deal. But I think we got the music thing figured out. We couldn't do that last week. We tried to. Nobody could hear anything. But, you know, the music thing worked out, and then all of a sudden I was telling myself, hey, remember your mic's muted. You know, unmute your mic. And I start talking off. You know, some of you probably already noticed that. And for about a few seconds, and I was like, oh, I got to mute myself. So, you know, then we started going. Bushwhacker Mountain Company TV, good to see you. Daniel Johnson, good to see you too. From Illinois, good deal. Good deal. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And you might have been already. Sometimes it's hard to remember. I have met Bushwhacker Mountain Company TV just a few weeks ago or so. Did check out some of their content. Pretty decent stuff. Check them out if you want to. If any moderator that might be in the chat, drop links. Go ahead and do that. But yeah, Daniel Boone video. We just kind of read a little article and done some type of little presentation. Kind of threw a little bit of 2 cents. The most thing I liked about that is, and I have heard of that before, was the transport of a coal, you know, that you get from your fire from, you know, one camp to another that might not be too far away. And they would, you know, do that in a clay pot and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool stuff. But, you know, Daniel Boone, you know, kind of helped found the state here where I'm from. And you know, there was some trolling going on there on Facebook because I kind of shamelessly self-promote myself. And I throw my link out in a lot of groups. And, you know, there's some engagement on that deal as well. So everything's doing pretty good over there. Let's close this or stop this screen here. Yeah, getting rid of that deal. Good old Blake Shelton in God's country. Exactly right. But you know, things over on Facebook's going good. Facebook Frontier Survival Friends, the Facebook group, still gaining new members each week. I mean, you know, 14, 15, 16, somewhere around sometimes 20, sometimes 5 or 6. But, I mean, still, I mean, it's like every week. So people are coming in there. Miss Natalie Blackfeather. Miss Mandy, she's doing good, man. She is beautiful. You got that right. Yep. She's I think she's actually just in the other room here in the living room there watching some television. Y'all probably might be able to hear the TV going. No big deal. That's just how it is, right? That's up the holler. Life up the holler. Yeah, as you see, it's still daylight here, of course, and probably is in a lot of places. But you know, that's the thing. There is you know, here in Kentucky and probably not a lot of other states, you know, they say hollow. Some people say holler, and a lot, you know, Kentucky does that, especially East Kentucky, and other states do as well. You know, and there's all kinds of words out there for different dialects and different regions and stuff like that. People say different stuff. You know, some people, you know, sometimes you hear the word go over yonder here in Kentucky. You know, people, a lot of old timers say that. Go over yonder and get me that there and bring it back over here, you know. Just so, I mean, there's all kinds of different words. I mean, and I've heard a few different things in different places, but if anybody would like to throw out anything on that, any words that they know of that they might say in some place, but they don't in other places, you know. It just depends on where you're from. Exactly right. Colin, good to see you. Kincaid Outdoors. Appreciate you being here. See, that's what you always got to try to keep up with the chat. You know, that's how I do it. Some streamers don't. Some streamers don't acknowledge everyone that comes in the chat. I try to. I don't know if it's a good idea or what, but a lot of people do that, and I try to do it my way. Sometimes I'll miss one or two. You never know. But yeah, you know, tonight just got a few things we're going to talk about. You know, Frontier Survival Friends. We was talking about that earlier. There is a gentleman that I was going to talk about, and he gave me permission to speak on this. His name's Jim Oliver, and let's see here. Okay. We will have to go here. But there's the Frontier Survival Facebook page. The Frontier Survival Friends. And Jim Oliver, I was just, you know, he always posts these encouraging, inspirational type poems and stuff. And just wanted to shout him out a little bit. Some people probably know Jim Oliver or might know him in other groups. But just no big deal. Just wanted to let him know that I was going to do that. Just nice little poems. It's like they're kind of inspirational. And he talks about how some groups won't let him post and this, that, and the other. And I kind of, you know, as long as I can get away with it and they're going to let me get through, then I'll let him post. And, you know, that's all we're going to say about that. But just wanted to talk about how I kind of enjoy reading his stuff. And I'm sure there's some in the chat that would know Jim Oliver. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't fix it. There we go. Yeah, Frontier Survival Friends. And we're getting... Sometimes you get messed up. And Jim Oliver here, little poem there. I won't read it or nothing, but he just posts a lot of inspirational stuff. But just wanted to show that there and talk about that a little bit. Yep, Colin is his name. Colin. Exactly right. Guys, the United States Volunteer Rangers. It's another thing I was going to talk about. They're on Facebook as well. There might be a moderator that might be able to find a link and maybe post that. And I might be able to try to here as soon. But I've run into them, and they got... it's kind of a little group where I guess, you know, they do a little bushcraft and survival stuff, but they're also, you know, a lot of ex-military and this, that, and the other. And seems like a pretty good deal. Maybe if they might want to come up on panel later on, they might be able to talk about what they do. That's up to them. We will be posting a link later on, you know, how we like to roll. You know, maybe about 15, 20 minutes left or so. When we decide we might want to wrap it up, we'll invite someone up. But the Volunteer Rangers, I did ask if they'd be all right if I speak about them as well, and then that's what I'm trying to do right now. Oh, they say they would love to try to come up. Well, we'll be able to arrange that here in just a little bit. Most definitely. Most definitely. Let's see if I can... try to find that real quick here. Bear with me, guys. I'm not sure if that's it or not. No, that's not the right one, is it? Let's see. Okay. See, I did speak about trying to get something lined up to show off about the Volunteer Rangers, and I actually forgot about it. I do apologize, Volunteer Rangers. I do. But we was going to try to find something there, but you can come up and talk about it here. Here in just a little while. Sure, we can do that, and give you a few moments to maybe tell about what it's all about. Dutch said, thanks to all military guys for your service. Yeah. Yeah, I did serve in the Army, so yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. There's others as well. And let's see here. We had another little thing we were going to talk about. The Volunteer Rangers. Okay, so we will have them up here in just a little while, and they can speak on a little bit something here. And Mr. Jim Oliver, we just kind of give him a little shout out. Yeah, we talked about the trolling on Facebook, and then a lot of people said that wasn't even Daniel Boone in the thumbnail, and I said, yeah, that's exactly right. That's Fess Parker. He played Daniel Boone in the old TV series, and he also played Davy Crockett in a Disney movie. Just got home, still settling in. Well, you let me know if you want to come up. Somewhere around I don't know, 8:45 Eastern time. We'll give you the link. We'll put it down in the chat, and all you have to do is click that link, and if you have a phone or whatever you might want to use there. Fess Parker was 6'5". What's that? Great Farmer Freelance. Dude, you did it, so go up. Okay. Daniel Johnson said, former Marine, good deal. That's awesome. Trolls are sad little things sometimes. You're exactly right. I agree with that. And I did see that, little comment about there was a gentleman posted something, I think in Frontier Survival Friends, about yes or no. The more knowledge the less you carry. And I guess he was asking people to answer, and the huntsman chimed in on talking about how a lot of people carry a lot of gear into the woods, and there are a lot of people that do. Some people carry little gear, and some people kind of get into that finesse to where they're kind of evened out and have what they need. But I remember Corporal's Corner. I remember watching his early stuff, and he always talked about redundancies. And so you gotta have more than one, right? I mean, at least if you're going to try to start a fire, you got to have at least a few items to take, at least a backup, in case at least a Bic lighter and a ferro rod, at least, and maybe not a ferro rod. Ton of gear for a nooner Instagram spread. Po boys out talking about how miserable trolls are and want everyone to be as miserable as they are. Exactly right. Planes crash. Woo! We don't want no planes crashing. But yeah. Hopefully I'm not too loud. Trying to keep the mic just a little bit away, and it's out of screen now, so you can't really see it. We got things behind us here, different things here in the stream room, and we're just having a good time. Just we're going to have of course, we'll have more presentation videos like we did with the Daniel Boone thing. We'll throw that, because we can do that right here. We kind of showed that off. We just recorded that right here on StreamYard. It looked like we were, it was cut from a live stream or something, but it wasn't. I actually just recorded it, and you can do that if you purchase, a little premium package. It's $25 a month, something like that. If the plane crashes, used what? Backwoods Barbarian said, hello for a few. Well, thank you for coming in, Backwoods. Backwoods Barbarian's kind of rebooting a little bit. I can't wait. I'm anticipating. I'm excited to see what Backwoods Barbarian has in store for us. I know he'll have some more content coming soon. I do know that. Okay, helping your daughter's schoolwork. That's cool. No problem. That's a good deal. That's really great, really, because there's probably a lot of people out there, a lot of parents nowadays don't do that. I mean, I know growing up, I had my parents help me some. I mean, that's just how it was. I mean, but, then, I got to where I didn't really need so much help or not, whatever, you know how it is. As you get older, I guess you get a little smarter. Some people do anyway. Everybody see the Backwoods, which is a good deal. Hey, we got 10 in the house. Sounds like a good deal. Just going to check out something here real quick. All right. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. We need to close this little tab out there. All right. Okay, now we're good. So we know that Great Farmer Freelance been doing a lot of good live streams, a lot of good people, a lot of good community in his live chat as well. The Huntsman has his live streams on Friday nights. Good crowd there. Different things going on there with playing a little game and things like that, and winning prizes, things like pulling tabs off of a map. It's all cool. I like doing that. It's kind of fun, roll the dice and all that. So check that out on Friday nights. Kincaid Outdoors, he does a lot of live streams. And I visit Kincaid and Colin quite often when I can. He'll have his good buddy, his sidekick, Fox at Outdoors, there with him, Cliff. They banter back and forth, talk about gear and different things and stuff they might find at maybe yard sales or thrift shops, things like that, or just might anywhere. Kind of like how we do here. We show some stuff that we got kind of on a clearance, outdoor, that big nice tarp I got back here. I've showed it dozens of times. We're going to use that here pretty soon. We're going to bring a video out to you out in the woods, doing that, a tarp configuration video of some sort with that tarp and just see how it works. It looks like a great tarp. I mean, it's reinforced and it's pretty nice. So, yeah, I mean, so, we've been talking about that. We got adventure videos we're going to try to do coming your way, going to places that's right here in the holler, but not my property. But I still got, permission to be there to where I can show off an old cemetery, that started way back, I don't know when, very old graves. Some of them you can't even make out. Some of them are just rocks, like I said before. So we have a video on that. So, we'll do some type of adventure video with that. Show some areas that we've never actually explored at all. And we're going to go in there with the camera for the first time exploring it. How? Well, you know for sure I'm not faking it and I actually went in there. You won't. I mean, you really won't unless I tell you. I don't know. I guess you just got to take my word for it. But it's true. But we'll show you places that we've been before as well. But they're still cool places because there's some rock formations and things like that. So we got that coming up. And that might go in, that's going to be starting soon. We'll be having some weekend stuff where we can be off work and be able to get that stuff going before summer really gets too hot. But we'll wind that series up, into summer for some different stuff that will still be a part of that series. That'll still be adventures. So, stay tuned for that. We still have Tales from the Holler episodes that will be in that series playlist as well. Dynamite Wednesday night every Wednesday night. So, we're trying to get the hang of this, crank out content, different content. Some of it's outdoors, some of it might not be. Some of it might be some type of homesteading type stuff. Because, guys, we got chickens coming. Remember that. We got baby chicks coming, about 15 white leghorns. So, that's coming, here in a couple of weeks. So, Mandy and I will be showing them off in a video. There you have it. Mandy, I know she'll be in the video with that because she'll be wanting to show off them chickens. Yeah, exactly right. She's been in a few videos and even starred in one of her own. Check out Tales from the Holler, that playlist. She's got a video there, folding laundry and talking about different things. And she actually filmed that herself. Guys, there's Sean from down there in Florida, Rewild Outdoors, just joined us. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here, brother. Check out Rewild Outdoors, another great channel. Check these channels out. If you like what they're doing, if you enjoy it, leave them a good comment. Hit that thumbs up, and support. Be part of the community. Be a part of the core audience, the core community. Exactly right. What are we talking about now? Oh, Colin said he's going to a really big flea market this weekend. Those big flea markets are really nice. I really like them. Here in Kentucky, in a place called Ashland, Kentucky, it's not too far from me, there's a weekend flea market there. Part of it's in a building and some of it's outside. And they call it the Hillbilly Flea Market. Imagine that. Right here in Eastern Kentucky. But, yeah, it's a pretty cool place. A lot of different stuff, electronics, different things like that, on the cheap. And, antique stuff. Everybody likes antiques, don't you? There's Jake from Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Good to see you, brother. USVR says some of the best gear they've used, I got from the thrift store. Exactly right. I got gear back here that we got from the thrift store. Exactly right. We've showed it on stream, and if you want to see it again, we'll show it again. We don't care. But, and the side of the road, I found stuff on the side of the road. Maybe not exactly, it wasn't actually maybe like some type of outdoor gear, but I found like an east wing hammer on the side of the road one time. About a 20 ounce or something like that. Oh, you could use that in a bushcraft kit and a camping kit. Is it bushcraft or is it glorified hobby camping? It's one or the other. But, yeah, you could use a hammer, an east wing hammer, to drive tent stakes or whatever, right? Keyword market. Oh, you're going to be going live at the flea market? Cool. Cool. World's largest flea market is right here. Yeah, I mean, flea markets, yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, the Goodwill. It's a thrift store, I guess you'd say. But I've been in some Goodwills here lately, and some things in there are a little pricey. They are for a Goodwill. I'm sorry. Some things are like retail price that you'd find in in the Mart of Wall. Kincaid comes to Canada, got you. Oh, yeah. But yeah, everybody, check out everybody. Subscribe if you want them. We got 13 in the house. Looks like a pretty good deal. So far we've had 48 views, 14 concurrent viewers. All right. We throw that out there every once in a while. Kind of like a score. Kind of like it's a ball game or something. I don't know. Guys, we've been going a half an hour and I ain't talked about anything, have I? Oh. But and we have been promising something for a while, and I don't know, we haven't followed through on that promise yet. We talked about how Mandy and I were going to do a live stream, live Q&A. Hasn't happened yet, but it will. And you'll know at least within a day in advance to where you could hit that reminder and be able to attend if you want. Traditional archery, yeah, I know. We know Colin is a traditional archery instructor, so And he does show some art. He has some videos on archery as well, and doing different things there. Well, thank you, Great Farmer Freelance. Appreciate that. He said, great chat, Heath. Awesome. But yeah, we don't allow, trolls. We talked about that earlier. The husband, he was talking about it as well in the chat. And yeah, we're not doing that. We don't fool with that. We get somebody coming in here, breaking the core vibe of, the vibe that's going on, the good vibe, the decent vibe. Somebody coming in here and trolling and different things, we won't handle that. I mean, we got moderators out there to take care of them, or I'll take care of them myself. There's Miss Mandy right there. We've been talking about you, Miss Mandy. We was talking about how we promised a live Q&A and we haven't fallen through yet. So we're gonna have to get on the ball on that. Miss Mandy, I guess, doesn't have to work tomorrow. The brother here does. I do. Oh, I guess she does, but she's off Friday. That's what it is. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday. So we might get that Q&A going this weekend, guys. The squirrels will eat them too. Exactly right, husband. Squirrels will eat those tongues. They won't cull them. They'll want them tongues. Exactly right. I did mention the chickens there a while ago too. Miss Mandy ain't been watching just till here recently, I guess, because I already mentioned the chickens. But we can talk about chickens. And any other questions the core audience might want to ask. Arkansas Bushcrafter just jumped in here. Good to see you there. And they said he's been a troll since the late 90s. Well, that's cool. Kincaid Outdoors talking about having a 74-pound longbow that he uses. Exactly right. Good deal. Picked up a nice PSE takedown recurve at the local pawn shop a while back. That's what Daniel Johnson's talking about. All right, good deal. Everybody talking about some good old archery equipment. Mr. Colliner saying hello to my lovely wife. But yeah, we'll be talking about chickens. Maybe this weekend, guys. I'm not going to promise anything. I already did. But it could happen this weekend, so watch for it. Could be Saturday night or it could be Sunday night. Do it right here in the stream room. Or we could take it to the living room, wherever we might want to do it. Miss Natalie's asking Mandy how many chickens. And Colin's talking about how his email is there on his about page to freelance. Good old Great Farmer Freelance. All right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we could always probably go ahead and, if the Ranger group might want to come up, we will go ahead and share, let's see, let's find that link, guys. Where'd that go? There it is. Anybody might want to come up and talk about anything, if they got a channel, anything they got going on. The time is to go ahead and hit that link. Come on up here. We'll talk about it. Anybody? Rewild Outdoors, Kincaid, anybody? The group there. I think they're still with us. I'm not sure if they've been commenting much lately. United States Volunteer Rangers. Talking about how they were settling in. I don't know if they're settled in yet or not. If they want to come up, they can hit that link. 200 chickens. Who's got 200? Oh, woo! Jake over there in Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Quick count of 200 chicks and 50 turkeys. What breed of chicken do you have, Jake? Is it, different breeds, different, like I said, we got those white leghorns coming because they do produce a lot of eggs and they do it quickly. They don't have to get too old before they start laying. Yeah, 200 chickens, that's probably a lot of meat chickens too, I guess. Egg layers and meat chickens maybe. Oh, can you figure it out? Do you know what to do there? Said trying. I mean, take your time. If you need me to post the link again, just let me know and I'll do so. That way it'll be, you don't have to scroll all the way up or nothing, but, or if you need help, just let us know. You just enter the studio. I think you click the link and enter the studio. Do appreciate each and every one that's been here with us tonight. I mean, we go an hour or so, every Wednesday night with Dynamite, the Dynamite Show, Dynamite Wednesday night. Guys, my good friend David Bradley from right here in my home county, Morgan County, Kentucky. Einstein. Oh, Jefferson just jumped in. I see what Einstein's going on. How you doing, Jefferson? But yeah, Jefferson, David Bradley, good buddy there from right here. Grew up together, went to school together, played football together. Bear Branch. Remember Bear Branch, David? NKR Fishing and Outdoors is with us. Good to see you there. Young man there, good to see you. You think your channel is dying slowly? Why do you say that, NKR? Let us know. Guys, anybody in the chat that doesn't have NKR Fishing and Outdoors, go check out that channel. A young man, not sure exactly how old he is. Very young man. Somewhere probably around, I don't know, 12, 13, are you? I don't know. But, yeah, I think me and him hit like 1K at the same time. DuckDuckGo being a pain. Well, brother, I mean, you take your time and see if you can do it. We will have that, paste that link right there again, so that way it's right there close. And if you can come on up, that's fine. If not, we can always do it another time. We'll have a little bit more prepared. This is kind of a fly-by-night thing. We do have other things we can talk about here. Somewhat of a presentation or something. And then we can cut this out and just kind of do a standalone video and see how it does. This is kind of a little different, though, a little different subject. It kind of has something to do with history, but not really nobody real historic as far as, like, say, someone like Daniel Boone or like Abe Lincoln or George Washington or something like that. But we might be able to discuss this here in just a little while. We'll see how everything plays out here in just a few moments. Until then, we'll just try to entertain you the best we can. Anybody else jump in here that I did not notice, that I did not say hello to yet? I don't think I've missed. Yeah, there I did. She stole my thunder. I knew they were. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming in here. She stole my thunder. Appreciate you very much. But United States Volunteer Rangers has been able to come up here, so we're going to bring them on up here. Hello, sir. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. Just give me a second here. I'm going to check some audio set. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
But yeah, I mean, you can introduce yourself or, talk about... Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you, man.
Oh,
my name's Sean Merritt. I'm the ostensibly national commander for United States Volunteer Rangers. We're a family-based scouting organization that's slowly but surely growing. We've been trying to do this for a while. Try to encourage preparedness in the home, bushcraft, wilderness survival, all that sort of thing. With kind of a thought process of taking all of our skills as preppers and as outdoors people and putting it back into the community through some emergency services stuff, that sort of thing.
Right. I remember I did look at the website a little bit there on my phone one day, and did see something about emergency preparedness and things as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little rough.
Search and rescue as well, I guess.
We're starting on that. Yeah, New York State's slow on things like that, but yeah.
So you're in New York, okay, New York State.
Well, we've got New York.
Mhm.
We got a group in Texas. We got one guy in Nevada who's trying to start things up. We've got sister groups in the United Kingdom and in Brazil, and also starting up in Uganda, of all places.
Hold on just a second, okay?
Sure.
All right, sorry about that. Had a call. That's never happened before. When I live stream, it was kind of a work issue. But hey, you could have kept on rolling there. You should have kept talking.
Oh, I didn't know. You said, hold on a second. I didn't
Oh,
know.
I don't. I was just trying to say I was trying to just hurry up
No,
and see what was going on so I could get back to you. But yeah,
no worries.
that happens,
Yeah,
don't it, guys?
it's the first time I've been on this system, so it's pretty cool though.
Yeah. Hey, we got another guest I just noticed down here, so we're going to bring him on for a few minutes. I mean, we can all kind of talk a little bit here. But this is Great Farmer Freelance. He's been in the chat. How you doing,
Good to meet
Shane?
you.
United States Volunteer Rangers. I want to know. Tell me what you do, bud. I'm very
Well,
curious, honestly.
Well, we teach. We take a bunch of us who are all outdoorsmen. Some of us are prior service military, as he said. Like some of us are just experienced outdoorsmen. We do. It's family based scouting. It's kind of like it's the Boy Scouts, but with you're not dropping your kid off to hang out with some guy somewhere. Everyone starts in the same place, whether you're an adult or a child, and you succeed together.
Nice.
Yeah, we have an emergency services aspect to ourselves, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've been working on it for a little while now.
I was a cadet. I was a Royal Canadian Army cadet from the age of 12 to 19. And I ended up, we were an Army cadet, so we learned everything to do with the Army. We had to be promoted. You had to learn about the world wars and the conflicts that happened over the globe to get promoted. Also, you had to learn everything military. You had to learn drill. You had to learn rifles. We had the FNC-1A1 at the time when I was in, if you guys know the FNC-1A1. Now we're into the C7s and the C-Series rifles in Canada. But back then, and I left it or retired at the age of 19, they say, as a Chief Warrant Officer, Regimental Sergeant Major. So, and the records are there. D&D do have the records that, but the biggest thing with it is my experience over 7 years as a child molded me into the man I am today. And I can't stress that enough. The things that I was taught being a cadet, I also went to basic training. I went to out of region courses. I did every summer while I was off of school. I was 6 weeks, 8 weeks into training at various. Usually, I went to Gagetown. I'm from Canada.
I gather.
From Canada, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm from Canada, so I was going to Oromocto, which was it's base Gagetown, and I would go there and train. We used to train with police forces as a cadet. We used to train with police forces. We used to train with rank force, what we call rank force here in Canada. You know,
Mhm.
all our we trained with the Navy, all branches of the Canadian forces, or so, and my young fella, he's only 13. He's getting into it now. So I'm thinking of becoming, because of my cadet history, I'm allowed to become what they call a civilian instructor.
Oh, cool.
So,
That's really cool.
yeah. And
I was in
actually,
something similar.
go ahead,
Oh no, I
Ranger,
was
go
in
ahead.
something similar. We have something in the United States called the Civil Air Patrol. It's the auxiliary of the United States Air Force. They do uh, uh, they assist in search and rescue like we do with the Rangers. They do flight air search and rescue, and then their cadet program is very strong. I went to Fort Drum up in northern New York for their leadership encampment. I learned search and rescue and emergency services stuff through Civil Air Patrol. I had a great time. I think any of these organizations are good. And
Absolutely.
you won't hear me down any one of them. I might down some policies they might have that might harm people, but I will never down the organization, at least the intent of the organization. And it sounds like the Royal Canadian Army Cadets is a really wonderful organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, there are so many countries that, I go to that have a policy that you got to spend so much time within the military service. I'm a big believer of that. I'm a Canadian. Everybody may shit on me for it, but I am a big believer in it because it creates somebody with passion. It gets us off the streets. We could really use it right now. We
Yeah.
could really use that right now everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Canada,
Oh,
United
yeah.
States.
Could not disagree with any of that.
Yeah. And like I said, my experience in 7 years of being a cadet from a young man to an adult, 19, and at the end of it, I was a training officer. Being in an RSM, a regimental sergeant major, I looked over everything. And the only thing that kept me going, everybody goes, well, Shane, why didn't you go rank force? You were so close. And if rank force with the training that I would have had, or I had, I would have went into the rank force as a corporal, which
Okay.
is a big feat for the Canadian military, being a corporal, starting off. But the training that I had as a
Yeah.
cadet qualified me to be that rank. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only thing that really, and I was a young man, I was 19-year-old, was we had a change of command. We had an Air Force captain come in and take command of my regiment, and we
Okay.
didn't see eye to eye. We didn't see eye to eye, and
Mm.
I quit.
I have had similar reactions. One of the reasons why my friends and I started putting this organization together was we wanted to find a way to not only reach out to young people, but to adults, because there's a lot of adults that want to get involved with the outdoors or want to get involved in serving their community, but there's no outlet for that. You're done being a cadet. You can, that's it. Civil Air Patrol in it so much so, but even there, my former commanding officer in Civil Air Patrol, Colonel Hoff, a wonderful man, he said you have your best fun as a cadet. And I said to myself, that's a sad statement. Why is it that you have your best fun as a cadet? If somebody wants to join Civil Air Patrol or join the any organization like that, why is it that all of a sudden when you turn 18, 19 years old, that magically is the time when you stop enjoying the organization?
Yeah.
And the other thing is the breakdown in modern families. And I'm not going to get political in any way, because as a libertarian, I'm kind of a live and let live sort of a guy. But there needs to be two parents in the household, and there needs to be a household. And the best way to get families to get together is to do it in such a way as that they work together as a team. So within our organization, the smallest level of the organization is the team. Like I said to you, you can start with a team, and your family counts as that team, and then eventually you can grow from there. But the idea is that there's nothing wrong with it. Some people consider that a cheat. Oh, I'm starting, but you just used all your kids to be. Of course, yeah, that's great. That means your family's getting together, they're achieving together, they're going out and having adventures together, and they're serving the community together. Now that for me is what it should all be about.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely, Ranger. Absolutely, man. Said it perfectly.
If I haven't introduced myself, my name's Sean, by the way. And
Sean, okay, I'm Shane. I'm Shane.
Nice to meet you, Shane.
I'm Shane. I mean,
of course,
you know, yeah, Heath, you know, absolutely. But, you know, and here's the thing I got to tell a story about. The reason why I ended up quitting. The reason why we had a change of command is because my former CO that I had spent my whole entire cadet career with from 12 to 19 ended up, we used to go out to his house. He had a property outside of town that we used to be able to take the F-ins, go out and do a shoot and come back back to the armories, drop the rifles off, and what had happened was it was such a logistics problem because we were cadets, we used to have the ranked force back us up with deuce and a halves to transport gear and us out to his property. And our former CO, Captain O'Hearn was his name, God love him. He turned around and said, rather than doing this every friggin' weekend, I'm just going to pack the ammo here. And he had a secured building, smart locks. You couldn't get into this is a long time ago too, but still nobody knew it. So he used to pack the ammo there. It is military ammo. It is military ammo. And I remember coming to the armories one night. We used to train on Thursday nights, every Thursday night. And I showed up. I was an RSM at that time. And I remember coming in and I seen RCMP cars at the armories, and I seen military police cars from the base that was close to us. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I walk into the armories, and an officer greets me, and he goes, you're a senior officer. He goes, I got to talk to you for a minute in a room. So we went in and talked. And he asked all questions. It went a while. But what it came down to was Captain O'Hearn had ammo at his house, and somebody told on him. And he got caught. Or he got RT, well, we call it's not RTU, it's not return to unit. It's he got fired, is what happened. So we had the change of command, and he was an Army captain, so he knew what an RSM was. And we had a change of command where it was a Navy captain, or actually he was only a lieutenant. But he came in and took over, and we didn't see eye to eye, and I quit. So there you go, Ranger. Bible. Heath.
Yeah, we had a guy like that. We had a guy. I won't give names out because of the fact that, as I said, I'm not trashing anybody, but we had a situation like that where the next guy to come in was less experienced in how we did things, and that was, and exactly. I think that's another one of the things that bothered me about it was when he came in, it wasn't a policy change so much as I don't even know how to put it. He just didn't get.
I found it personal. I found it when I had a change of command. Ranger, sorry to cut you off, bud, but I found it he attacked me, and of course we had a method at our armories. We had a method of control and the way we did things. He came in and wanted to change it all, and I love all our forces. I love them all to death. I was Army, but he had his Navy side to him, which doesn't work with Army and an armories. Sorry.
The other thing is that actually transcends the branches of service and comes down to leadership. And the lack, I've seen this actually. My fiance works at at the place where she works. When she started working there, it was a lot of fun. Everyone was very happy. It was a real like family of people. And then there was a change in leadership, and this person, of course, comes in, and instead of working within the system for a while and figuring out how things work and why they work the way they do, this individual went in and changed everything. And that's a problem. And it's a problem that we have no matter whether it's the military, it's a casino, it's a mall security detail. It's good no matter what it is. If there's when you get into a situation where the person thinks, well, I'm in charge, therefore I need to exert my authority by changing things. That happens a lot, and it's something that it's disappointing, but it's a reality that we have. And sometimes people fall by the wayside, like you had to, in order to not.
Well, my thing is, it starts at the worst level at cadet, because it turned a lot. Actually, I wasn't the only cadet that left. Once the RSM left, I had a following. I had my NCMs. I had my NCOs. That, I came up through the ranks. I came up right from a private right to a chief warrant officer. And I had a following. So, and I didn't actually look back was the problem. When I left, I was so pissed off. I just left. And I never looked back until later on in life when I found these people again as an adult, further adult. And they said, Shane, when you left, we all left. And I was like, we had a big corps. We had a 90 spread corps every Thursday or every Wednesday. We had 90 on parade. I had two squads, right? And
that's impressive.
When I left, they all left. So it hurts. So we gotta. I hope it's better now, but things have changed so much, and I'm not in the loop, but I do. I remember even when I was a cadet, things were starting to change. The discipline things were starting to change. I remember back in the day, they used to make us do 50 push-ups or 30 push-ups or 20 push-ups or 5 push-ups or whatever. But our sergeants, our corporals, they use, or laps, or definitely on the parade square. That used to be a thing. Now there's so much, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say it because I don't want to, Heath, I don't want to say anything on YouTube, but you can't do that now because it crosses so many things and you get in trouble for it. Well, that's not.
Yeah, we're not going to. But it's one of those things that the politics are creeping in. One of the things that we do with the Rangers is we have a rule, and as we're developing our handbook, this is actually going to be right in the handbook, is that we're not pushing any particular political group, religion, any of that stuff. It's just staying out of there, because the more you put it in there, the more you're walking through a minefield at that point.
Oh,
and
sure.
I mean, it detracts from being able to do the mission, which is to get people motivated and dedicated to their families, and to get them out in the woods. Let's face it. I mean, there's so many people who just don't know what to do, and you walk into I'm sure you guys have all done this. Everybody that's watching right now has done this, where you've seen somebody over at the Bass Pro Shop or someplace like that. Even Canadian Tire places. They walk in, they're like, I want to go camping, and the guy rolls out the red carpet and tells them they need to spend $10,000 on equipment. You need every bell and every whistle. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you don't need all that. You need more knowledge, like you were saying earlier in the podcast, where the more you know, the less you need. Well, it's hard to learn that stuff. And for a lot of adults, it's hard to go, I don't know. You want to teach your kid how to shoot, but you don't know how to shoot because your parents never taught you how to shoot. Yeah. I want to learn how to build a fire. My parents never built a fire. If they did it in a charcoal grill with some lighter fluid and a match. So this gives the opportunity for the parents to be able to go, look, we're all going to learn this together. We're going to learn the safety rules. We're going to learn how to be good marksmen. We're going to learn how to build fires and build shelters and go hiking and be safe in the water and all of those things. And we're going to do it together, so that there's none of that pressure that the parents will feel when they're sitting there trying to go, wow, my kids are going to think I'm a fool because I don't know how to do this, and I want to do this. And that's a terrible thing to have happen. So that's kind of where we're going with things. I mean, I don't mean to push the Rangers into everything, but
Hey,
that's
push it.
why we're doing what we're doing is because it's just there's so many problems.
If anybody looks at this, look, Ranger, if anybody looks at this and, yeah, push it, man. Because, again, back to the cadets is the only thing we have. Well, we have scouts and we have beavers. That's in our, and it's like right from when you're a young kid, you can go into beavers. And then you can go, I didn't do beavers. I went to scouts, but then I went to the cadets right after that. I went right to the RCACA, right? And, again, and I've been a part of a fire department, a volunteer fire department, because of my cadet experience. Because I was like, I can do that. No problem. And I was, I accelerated. So, and
well, I mean, we've done a lot of the same things. It's kind of funny about that like I was part of a volunteer fire department for a while. It didn't work out very well for me. Leadership again over there wasn't exactly what we didn't see eye to eye on how things should be done, but that's a whole other discussion. And I'm not saying anything bad about them either. But when it came to like the scouts, one of the things I had a big issue with was we had people at the top again who didn't like got angry at me because I knew how to build a fire and he didn't. But there was also some very negative things that happened. The one of the scout leaders, it was a winter camp up at a place called Camp Russell, which doesn't exist anymore. It's really sad. And he drop kicked a kitten out of the door of the cabin because he didn't like cats, and it was the middle of winter time. And stuff like that just kind of turned me off to the whole thing. I mean, it's just, you can't go past kicking kittens. It's just beyond the pale right there.
That was a scout leader? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You said that was a scout leader. Crazy.
Yeah. See, and that would be the end for it. For me, that would be it.
I mean, he got jealous of a kid. Well, I was teaching wilderness survival to my to the Utica Composite Squadron, and all of our bivouacs, and I came over and my friend was involved, and he goes, "Hey, you should come and join the Scouts with me. If you do the Civil Air Patrol thing, you'll enjoy the Scouts." And for the most part, I actually did. I mean, there was a lot of adjustment to their way of doing things versus the way I was used to. But when you're sitting there going, I teach this. This is what I do. I have adults that are former Marine Corps drill instructors who are trusting me to teach other cadets and stuff. And you're going to yell at me because I built a fire in the fireplace where the fire is supposed to be built when it's supposed to be built because you couldn't get it done and we needed a fire. It's like I carried my Air Force survival knife on my web gear because that was what I was used to.
Yeah, there's a lot of jealousy, and I found that too when I was in as a cadet because I excelled at everything I did, and I got promoted quickly, way beyond my friends that I started with, because I went to camp, I went to basic, I went to outer region, I went above, I did the cenotaph every single year, you know what I mean? And I excelled. So that's why I went up in the ranks. I went from, actually, I'll tell you my rank structure. I was a private. I went from a private to a corporal. I went from a corporal to a sergeant, missed master corporal because I had done everything. Went to a sergeant, went from a sergeant to a warrant officer, and then skipped master warrant officer. And I was the last class that did the RSM exam in Nova Scotia, Canada, at that time. Cool. The regimental sergeant major exam. I was the last class, and I passed. So I got to skip company sergeant major, CSM. Mm-hmm. I got to miss and go right to chief warrant. And again, I loved it. So.
Well, we're open to if you're at all interested. We're open to Canadian Volunteer Rangers. I mean, I'd love to see the maple leaf with the light infantry horn on top of it up there. If you're ever interested, But we're doing, like I said, we have a sister group in the United Kingdom, and Cornish Camper is the guy. He's on Instagram. He's the national commander there. We have a group down in Brazil that is that the name is in Portuguese, so I can't pronounce it. But they're a good group of guys. I just don't speak Portuguese.
Brazil. You're in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened over the past 6 months. It's blowing me away. There are people who are interested. They saw what we were doing and wanted to do it there, and they came to me and they said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I talked to my XO, and I talked to some of the other guys, and they're like, "Yeah, let them do it," you know. And we're going to post or publish our handbook and manuals on Amazon Kindle, so people can just download it, buy it, and download it. The money just goes right to the organization, so we can buy patches like this, so that when people join, they can join. Of course, they won't get this one. This is an emergency services patch, but they might get something more like this one.
Yeah.
But
one of the big things when I was a cadet was patches and cap badges and badges and rank badges and unit badges, and I had a collection. I had boxes and boxes of them, and all services too. I wasn't partial to the Army. I had everybody's badge, right? I had a stockpile of them. And then when I was 19, I moved out west to British Columbia and became a logger. And my mom threw everything out eventually because she said she'll never be home again. He'll never. Well, she didn't. You know, I do have some.
I've been there. So
I do have some, but I don't have what I have. And she says, "Oh no, I didn't touch anything." So that's where we're at, kind of with that with my mom. I'm like, okay, Mom, but I know I had a lot more.
But well, you know, it's one of those things. Like one of the things if you notice on our website, and if it's not up there yet, I'm going to talk to our web guy. We had another website. It really didn't represent us anymore because we kind of went through a few evolutions to get to where we are now. Our newer website, it's still being built. But one of the things that should be on there, if it isn't, I'll make sure it is a guy named Robert Rogers, who was a British Army, who was in the British Army during the French and Indian War. I'm sure you probably know who I'm talking about. Created a group called Rogers Rangers and eventually became the Queen's Rangers under Major Simcoe. And one of the things that in Canada, you probably know the name Simcoe quite well. But anyway, he took woodsmen and he took them and turned them into taking the skills they already had and turned them into what we now know as Rangers. They took them and turned them into fighting woodsmen. And the thought process behind the U.S. Volunteer Rangers is the fact that we do the same thing. Obviously, we're not going to war, but what we are doing is taking our hunting, our camping, our trapping, our bushcraft skills, and we're putting them back into the community to make fighting woodsmen, but we're fighting for a better community instead of fighting the French, I guess. Major Simcoe went on to be after the first governor of Ottawa, I believe.
Cool.
I think so, and he was the one that abolished slavery in Canada, or helped to abolish slavery in Canada. So a pretty big deal there. But Robert Rogers, he had a sad end, but the thought process has remained with both in the United Kingdom, in Canada, and in the United States with the U.S. Army Rangers, and of course the Forest Service has their Rangers. The thought process is still the same. Is the people who are excellent woods people. I don't say woodsmen anymore because we have a lot of ladies that do this and they're amazing at it. And they go out and they serve their community using those skills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the bonnet. This is what you earn.
Oh yeah.
As part of our when you gain to a certain level. I'm sorry, I'm talking over somebody. I apologize.
Go right ahead.
This is the bonnet. It's a Scottish Highland bonnet. It's the same as very similar to the one that Robert Rogers issued to his Rangers, and it's part of our regalia. You earn this when you've gotten your basically your day hiking equipment. You get also your basic tools and like your knife and your tomahawk, which I have a few here. This is my personal one. See if I can figure out how to do this without, but
nice.
Both a tool and a piece of regalia. So it's part of our ceremony where we have what we're called our council fire. And at the council fire, there's a stump. And in order to talk at the council fire, your tomahawk has to be in that stump. And then while your tomahawk's in that stump, no one else can talk. It allows you to get your point across. And I imagine we're going to have a stopwatch somewhere in there too for the more verbose members of our organization.
Don't bring that in. Don't bring a stopwatch in. Why would you do that? Keep it traditional. Keep it the old way.
That might work too. But if you've ever been on our comms check on Zello and you hear Captain Van Pelt have his conversations about gear and stuff, you might want to stopwatch. But no, in all seriousness, that's where you start. And we have you can look at the website. We're going to have our manual up there soon enough. It's just this lazy guy right here not finishing things up. That's keeping it from being there. But yeah.
Don't look at my channel then. Don't look at my channel, Rangers, because you're going to see so many things not finished. So don't look. Buddy,
my other channel, if you want to know, is Pine Home Outdoors, by the way. And I got about 40 videos up on there. And you're welcome to take a look at that. It's mostly gear reviews. Some of it goes back pretty far. But
that's what you're known on as Facebook.
Yep,
well,
it's
right?
Pine Home Outdoors. It's my not Ranger outdoor stuff.
I didn't realize you had a channel there, but I'll check it out. Most definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I got some stuff up there. Some of it's kind of rough because I'm not really good at the whole cinematography thing. I'm lucky I now have a tripod that I can sit here and talk to you on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But
I'm the same way, buddy. Same way, man. Same way.
But I try to put stuff out.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'll check it out. I don't think I'm subscribed already, but I'll make sure I am.
It's all right. It's not a big deal. I just let you know that it is out there.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about.
But like I said, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of good things, and part of the thought process is just to bring people together, bring those kind of groups together. And the guy out in Nevada, his name is Joe Schilling. I've known him for years. You can see him on such things as Volume 10 of the Woodsmaster series by Ron Hood. If you don't know who Ron Hood is, I highly recommend you look up the survival.com and get some of his videos. Some of the best wilderness education you can find. Karen Hood, he passed away quite a few years ago now, but Karen, his wife, has continued the website and whatnot. She's an amazing survival instructor herself. But Joe Schilling, who's on there, and he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. He was on Alone the Beast, and amongst other things. So yeah, I mean, I was blown away when I saw him on there. Believe me. But I
think that's the one season I haven't caught yet. I haven't watched that one. That's where they actually kind of team up, maybe 1, 2, or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, there was like 5 of them that start out, and we had to tap pretty early because he caught COVID-19 while he was on the flight going up there, and you can watch him on TV coming down with COVID. It's a really terrible thing. So he got through it, obviously, and
we had it here. We had it here in Canada. Me and my family had it, but it was like a cold to us.
Yeah, it all went to my gut. It wasn't pretty picture.
I don't want to get it, Keith.
Sean?
I don't want to get into it, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
Yep.
Your name's Sean, right? David Bradley asked you to repeat the channel name. I think he was talking to you. Pine Mountain Outdoors, correct?
Pine Home Outdoors.
Pine Home Outdoors. Okay.
Yeah. You'll see my ugly mug on it. Sometimes I have more hair, But yeah, I've been doing the YouTube thing a while. But we actually had an old YouTube channel for the Rangers, but it had a lot of stuff on it we didn't want. So you inspired me, Heath. You said, hey, do you have a YouTube channel? I looked at what we had up there. I'm like, well, that sucks. Let me put something better up. So I've actually been, over the past couple of days, starting to upload more stuff to a newer YouTube channel. So, and it's the one I'm on right now. On
There you go.
there,
It's
so.
addictive. It's addictive.
It is.
It's addictive. When you got good people behind you, and you look up to the channels like Heath, I first, when I first started YouTube, Heath at the Huntsman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where it all started for me. And when like I said before, I was in a dark place before here. It was pretty terrible what things were going on. And when I came into YouTube, and you can see it on my channel, I got it documented. I got it on video. Where I started and where I'm at now. And the whole reason why is because all these channels that I went in to start looking at, and I didn't even use tech. I hated tech. I hated tech. For the last 20 years of my employment, I worked at a college that had 13 campuses where I seen students looking at each other on a screen, but yet they were at a smoking area standing across from each other. And it drove me.
That's pretty sad.
It drove me nuts, man. I spent 20 years doing that. Right?
Well, that's one of the things we're trying to do, is to get people to look at each other. You know, like I talked about Captain Van Pelt there. I didn't mean to down him, because he's been a friend of mine for about 20 years now. And like, the great thing is we all get together and we talk to each other, you know, like in person. But the beautiful thing about this system that we're on right now is that it is bringing us together. We're all looking at each other right now. We're having a conversation, you know, so
texting each other.
It's just the right use of tech instead of the wrong use.
They're texting each other. And it used to drive me crazy, because I would see them doing it. And great minds, students that I loved, that I seen for, you know, our college had 4 or 5 year programs in them. So I was there for 20 years. So I actually seen these kids grow up within the college team, and seen great minds destroyed and great minds go on because of this. And I hated it. I was like, no, I had a cell phone. My wife made me have a cell phone, because if anything ever happened to any of the family or us, I had to be notified. And I was like, I'm cool with that. But I didn't text. I wasn't on social media. I wasn't none of that.
I'll be honest, if I didn't do the stuff at the Rangers and have a few family members I can only talk through, I don't know if I'd be on Facebook. I think that there's a lot of toxins that float around on Facebook.
Most definitely.
And I think that's and beyond the whole Zuckerberg thing, they're just, you know, like you were talking about the trolls on Facebook earlier, and how they seem to take delight in downing somebody for what they want to do. I had a guy based on your profile picture, which at the time I was sitting here, I was wearing my bonnet, and it was a picture of me teaching. Okay, I'm sitting here teaching in the picture, and the guy goes, based on your photo, I'm inside, I'm taking my cover off. You have a lack of intelligence. Like how does a picture of me teaching someone something a lack of intelligence? But it's not about that. If I sat there and I focused on it, I go, I must be stupid because this guy over the interwebs said that I lack of intelligence.
Right.
When I just asked a question, I'm like, it was about bass fishing of all, or you know, it's about whether or not black bass. We have a new thing in New York State with the Department of Environmental Conservation, where they've created some new rules about how you can fish, when you can fish, and all this sort of thing. And I had a legitimate question about how silly the law was that catch and release of black bass would get you in trouble. And I'm like, so if I'm not targeting that, and of course, that should go without saying. How do they know? It's a worm on a hook. For crying out loud, I'm like, do I put a little sign? I actually said that. Do I put a little sign that says, black bass, don't eat this, you know, in fish language? And it was supposed to be kind of a silly joke, but to point out the fact that our government's really not thinking things through with this, to make it so that catch and release is the problem. Obviously, we're not talking about targeting here. But instead of doing that and taking it for the joke that it was, or and maybe addressing it as, because I had a guy, one of our guys were in the Rangers, was in that thing, and he said, just don't target them. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, but it still doesn't answer the question of, if the fish grabs my bait and gets on my hook because it's bait on a hook, I get in trouble for this? I thought that was kind of silly. But the point is, apparently that showed that I didn't have any intelligence or something. And that's the sort of thing that can get into your head. I'm thinking about it right now, so it gets into your head. And that's a toxin that goes through Facebook and other things, like platforms like that. And for me, as an adult,
guys in the chat, I really apologize if I missed any comments directed towards me, because I just found the comments button on doing this. So now I see all your comments. So I really do. Anybody that's in,
I don't even know how to do that myself. So hold on. Oh, do I hit the chat button here?
Now, I'm happy now. I'm good now. I know what people are saying. Thank you.
All right, there we go. Now I'll see if I can get out of here so I can actually see what.
Uh-oh.
Drop down.
He hit the wrong button. You see that, Shane?
Yeah.
What happens?
Hey, I don't touch. That's why I don't touch. Actually, I touched the comments button, Heath, just because I seen comments, and I said I should be able to see the live chat through that. And sure enough, bang, there it is.
It's different when you're on panel with another host. Here he is.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. I am technologically impaired.
Talk about you, man.
I guess I'm just going to have to. I'm sorry for folks in the comments. I'm not good at this, so I haven't figured that part out yet, and I just kicked myself out trying to figure it out. So
I was going to see if there's. Well, I mean,
we're good.
I remember I asked that one comment for you, Sean.
I'll be back, gentlemen.
They were asking about your channel name, so we did answer that one.
Yeah. I just feel bad. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. It's just
that. I was kind of keeping track of the chat, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, there was
if you
a little
want
bit
to
of
post the link to the website, actually, the best thing you do is to get a hold of us through U.S. Volunteer Rangers HQ. The other one, we lost the admin privileges on the original page, U.S. Volunteer Rangers, United States Volunteer Rangers. Mm-hmm. So we created United States Volunteer Rangers HQ. If you want to get a hold of us through there, if you're interested, just and feel free to mention the event you found us on here. I'm going to be on here. I'm not going to lie. I like what your content here, so I'm going to be on here.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Appreciate it. But you're saying that's a Facebook group?
That's actually the page, and then there is a group connected to it. There's a national group, and if you're interested in starting a team or a post, because I'll tell you right now, we got a post down in Texas. They're all corrections officers, and oddly enough, but in their families. But that's just forming down there. They're having a hard time getting together, but they're doing their best. We have events every month. Up here in upstate New York, over in actually near Syracuse area. I'm
sure
if you're interested and you want to do something similar to what we're doing, go ahead and check it out there. And I'm just saying this because I want to address maybe the questions that I can't see.
Hey, I'm there already.
Well, I mean, I was going to say there's a lot of people, a lot of guys, people I would know here in Kentucky as well. David Bradley, the one that asked about your channel, he's one of them. He's right here in my county here in Kentucky. I mentioned that earlier, but we got a couple, state run prisons here close by, and so there's a lot of correctional officers as well.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the corrections officers, when they're not in prisons and working in prisons, they want to get out in the woods. Kind of like that, I can't blame them.
Well, I mean, there's
also, the CO says you're just as much in prison as they are. You just get to go home at night.
Well, they have the canine units. The canine units kind of wear the olive drab BDUs. So
it's easy to get the uniform.
Yeah.
Wow. But we work with olive drab. We try to stay away from the camouflage. We don't want to be mistaken for a militia or a or anything else. So we went with a bright yellow on our name. And name tapes actually aren't even required. We just do it because, you know, some of the shirts come with it and they look good. You know, just as long as you got your patch on and you got an American flag, or if you're not from the United States, then, you know, you might be wearing a British flag or whatever. You know, Canadian flag, you know, love to see that. Like I said, we just want to see the same thing. You know, I don't exert any authority over those other organizations other than, you know, we send them our manuals and then they translate them if necessary and then convert them over to what they need to do because their laws and cultures are different. Most of the guys over in Uganda are wilderness guides and safari guides, for instance, and they still got to get everything registered with the government there because they don't want the government to think they're the same reason we went with OD Green. They just don't want the government to think that they're something they're not.
Ranger, here's the thing: you wanna stand out. You want to show other people what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So that other people see you and want to do the same thing. So the badges and the ranks and the structure and all that, I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer in that because, again, you want people to know what you're trying to do, man. You're doing a good thing.
Yeah,
you're doing a good thing. You know, it's the same reason why we have blue and red lights on police cars and we have red lights on ambulances and fire engines because you have to be noticed because you're important.
Yeah. Okay. And especially if we're doing something like disaster response. The mission we have for disaster response, once we start doing it actively, is what's called damage assessment patrol, which is basically all we're doing is we're taking a 5-man team, 2 to 3 security officers, a medic, and an engineer, and we walk through, like, say, a neighborhood that's been hit by flooding or whatever, and we assess the medical needs of anybody that might still be there. The medic, if they're not doing that, they're maintaining us. We have an engineer that says, well, that structure's probably not safe. And we have our security officers. 2 of them are just dealing with keeping us safe, while the third one is also checking off if we see looting up ahead. We're not going to get involved. We're just going to observe it and make note, and then we can send that information on to other organizations that are prepared to handle that stuff.
Tactical relevance.
Whether
you should be there or not, tactical relevance.
So being in a uniform allows people, if we have the state police for the state of Kentucky happens to be around the area and they see us walking through, we're not just a band of people, some of us with firearms. Oh, they're in a uniform. What group is that? Oh, yeah, that's the U.S. Volunteer Rangers. They're in here from 3 different states helping us with this. All right, well, we know. And, you know, they might even embed with us something like that. I've seen that happen in the past.
Here's what I got to say to you guys in the States. Heath, God love all you guys in the States, because you have I'm in Canada, don't forget. And you guys have a thing called the Second Amendment. We don't have that in Canada. You can't do shit. And sorry, Keith, for swearing. Can't do shit in Canada. I can't protect my family. I can't go hunt what I need to hunt to feed my family. I can't do that legitly, or I'm told on. If I'm told on, I'm going to go to bricks and mortar. I'm going to go to a jail in Canada. I'm going to go to jail. So I respect you guys so much in the States, and so many of my friends that are on my channel, you guys with the Second Amendment. And you know what? I actually talked about it in Big Matt's live just before. Actually, it was Steven's show, but Matt was there. And I said, Matt, I remember seeing a video of First Time Adventures, Clyde, if you guys know that guy. I remember he's down in the States. I remember seeing him fishing. He's fishing, but there's 5 other guys with him, and they all have a sidearm. And I'm like, you know what? The reason, and it's not because people are good, I hope. Man, I hope. But the people that aren't good aren't going to think about those 5 guys.
Right.
They're not going to even think about those 5 guys fishing on the bank and all open carry. Right?
Especially down south where they I think I know the channel you're talking about. He's down south. And there's things out there that'll eat you. There are like, besides the human factor, there's stuff out there that will eat you. And guys up here, other than myself and a few other people who've been down there, they don't understand that when you go out into the bayou, you're not the top of the food chain anymore. The mosquito is higher than you on the food chain. But let me tell you. So, there's a good reason other than worrying about, bad guys for carrying a sidearm out there. But for us, we love the idea of, like, one of the things, and it says right in our manual, is that rifle marksmanship is so important to the national defense of any country.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be connecting up with we have an organization within our government called the Civilian Marksmanship Program, and I think Canada has something like this.
I had actually, Ranger. I had my cross rifle and crown.
Mm-hmm.
I was a cross rifle and crown. I had it.
So it's important. Like an organization like ourselves up there would definitely want to do the same thing we're going to do here. Where as much as we love to just go out and do some shooting, being able to be part of something like the Appleseed Project, and get people out there with rimfire rifles, get people out there doing some high powered stuff. I actually hunt with a rifle that's older than me 3 times over. It was built in 1902. It's a Krag Jorgensen carbine.
Wow.
In 3040 Krag. But I'm going to take that when I start doing the civilian marksmanship program. I'm going to compete with the darn thing. It's Tack Driver. It's a wonderful rifle. If you ever get a chance to own one, they're a nice rifle. But anyway.
Often. Who's going to do that often?
Beg pardon?
Who's going to own a rifle like that very often?
Sometimes I love the idea to be able to take that out and say, I killed a deer with a rifle that was made over 120 years ago.
Sure.
I've got a lot of things like that, a lot of antiques and stuff like that. I have a hatchet that was made in 1928 that I've taken out camping and used. I've got another one that's sitting in the garage, needs a new handle. It's a Hudson's Bay pattern. It's a boy's axe size Hudson's Bay pattern. And I love that. I got to get a new handle on it. Just to give you on the topic of inexpensive tools you find at flea markets and stuff like that. There's this boy's axe that I've done a little bit of work on, but I didn't do much on the head actually. I just kind of left it the way it is and sharpened it. I got this for $10.
Nice.
And it is. You can see video on our YouTube channel of me using this to take down trees.
$10.
It's a 50-year-old axe.
Goodbye. Most definitely.
Awesome.
So, but anyway, we're digressing, I guess. I don't know.
We're good,
I feel like
buddy.
I'm just talking to a bunch of friends now. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
anytime. Come on by. We try to do it every Wednesday night, man. So, be here, be square.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do appreciate y'all coming on, but I'm going to probably wrap it up here in a few minutes. But, come back next week and, we'll be able to, you can come back up and we'll have another chit chat or something, or anybody else that might want to. But
I got a friend of mine up in Maine that I think she'd like to get on this, if she can. Her name is Kate Wentworth, and she has a survival school up in Maine. I might send you her send her your channel, and vice versa. I'm pretty sure she'd have a lot to say. She's living up there in an off the grid homestead. I know you were talking about homesteading.
Yeah.
And she says, like I said, runs a survival school up there, and I think she'd have a lot to say on a lot of things. And I'll send her your way. I think you might.
Yeah, most definitely. That would be fine. That would be most fine.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Heath. My
You're
friend
welcome.
Heath. Hey, Ranger, I'm You just wait. I'm gonna watch you, buddy. I'm gonna watch what
Absolutely.
you're doing.
Get a hold of me anytime, guys.
I'm gonna find some way to get involved deeper on the Canadian side. Again,
absolutely. I can help you with that. We can all help you with that. I talked with talked with Kyle over in the UK too, because you guys might have some things that you can talk about and kind of put together. So yeah,
well, we're all
I'll make
the
that work.
same. Here's the thing: we're all in the same mind frame.
Yeah.
We're all in the same mind frame. That's where we're supposed to be. Thank you, gentlemen. Heath.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Heath, it's been real great. I'm going to let you get back to your podcast. And as I say on my other channel, is the Ridge Runners signing off.
All right. Hey, thanks very much, man. Appreciate you.
Take it easy.
All right. Good little talk there, right, guys? U.S. Volunteer Rangers there. Great Farmer Freelance. Both have YouTube channels, different things going on. Good talk. Something to think about. Yours truly might try to do something like that. Get a few people together and have some type of charter group right here in the state of Kentucky. But we've talked about a few things tonight. We're going to wrap it up here in just a few minutes. We do appreciate each and every one we've not got to say hello to that dropped in while we were having our little chat. But Caribou Country Outdoors, I'm not sure if Troy's still with us, but he came in, so hello to him. Hello to Woman Outdoors, Survival LT. They dropped in a while ago, and Miss Debbie Gronlin. A lot of different people. Good to see you. Appreciate you. If I did miss someone, I do apologize. It's been a good stream tonight. We still got 8 people with us. Not a whole lot to talk about. We're going to probably wrap it up here in a little bit. Be on the lookout for maybe a live Q&A with Mandy and myself this weekend. We'll talk about chickens. We'll talk about whatever. And in the continued weeks until July 6th, we're going to try to get those 75 likes on that night within the first 10 minutes of the live stream. If we do, we'll show you why we're born to boogie on July 6th, a few weeks away. So we got a lot of time to prepare for that. And more adventures, gear reviews, tales from the holler, all this coming your way right here on the Frontier Survival Channel. We thank you very much, guys. We appreciate you. And we tell you each and every time that you got to have drive to survive. Good night, everyone.